Don't not gonna talk too long. Don't got much of a break left. Um, so um, now I've really had some time. So I sat there and I listened to like the whole like 2 hour some odd minutes meeting from the hearings on the UAP stuff. You know, this stuff's a couple weeks old, right? It's like maybe 2 weeks old or something. You know, and so in the ride up, I mentioned a handful of things on the and so I want people to be capable of articulating what is being said in between the lines, because what they are dropping is, I am certain, some serious actual truths about what they're looking at, right? You need to like pay attention though to the nature of this conversation, right? Because it's kind of indicative of everything that is our United States fucking government versus our United States elected officials. Do do you see? Do you see how the government is not the body of Congress, right? It's something that is operating like there's some law out there that gives it this permission under national security excuses to have this tremendous amount of black hole issue on these matters that have been tormenting Americans, and Americans have been mocked for the entire 20th fucking century. And that's not the reason why they're trying to get answers. I mean, it's mentioned in there, but you know, they're fucking just like, oh, boo. Like, we just don't know. Like, you got a military guy saying it's a threat to national security. We don't know enough about it. Then you got another guy who's saying, yeah, we got reverse engineered shit. And nobody is saying, yeah, that reverse engineered shit is the shit that you're worried about. Nobody can fucking say that to each other. Like, it's a ridiculous level of things they can't say. And then at one point, a guy made an unspecified fucking comment as an answer to a question of why he couldn't fucking say. And he said the gatekeepers of the government, he's got fucking elected officials asking him. Meaning they can't just sit there and say, I grant you permission to speak. We're making this public. Now this committee is gonna, committee, let's vote. Let's make a vote. Right? And like, you can give him fucking immunity right in the fucking spot. You know, like, maybe you can't do that. But my point is that it's set up this way. And then this is the best fucking hearings we're allowed to get. And who the fuck is authorizing what? And why does nobody ever fucking show up who can be the person? Like, I'd rather have a fucking public conversation where a guy sitting in a meeting says, here, give me that piece of paper. I'll authorize that right now. And then my colleague over here, once I've signed this piece of paper, will right now answer that question that he's qualified to answer, but was sworn to secrecy up until this sworn document that protects him. Whatever. Any fucking kind of process. We do not get that, are not allowed that. And nobody is speaking up on the congressional side saying, well, yes, I understand from private meetings exactly why, because of one or two. Like, apparently our Congress had something to do with making all of this happen. If it's under the you see how it makes no fucking sense? How it makes no fucking sense. Right? Which is why it's been a big issue that I've talked about for a long time, ever since I came to understand it myself, is the unacknowledged special access programs. They're the guys, those are the things that do it because they're the ones that they can't even say is the black budget. Right? Deep state, and deep state just means like career politicians that have like senior authorities because they've been there for fucking ever and have accrued that much ability. And that's all that fucking means, which doesn't make it sound threatening and ominous in any way, state, or form. Right? And so this guy's talking about the gatekeepers of the federal... There's no official position called gatekeeper. You're supposed to say it's the sergeant at arms who signs off the paperwork on the classified da-da-da-da. You're supposed to fucking have like a thing that's citable under U.S. military code, United States commercial code, or something that functions for this fucking purpose. That's not a fucking real answer. And nobody in Congress batted an eye and said, what do you mean the gatekeep? Like, nobody said anything about that. That was an acceptable fucking answer above question. The gatekeepers of the government. What is this agreement? What is this agreement? No, this is not stupidity this time, Keith. This is playing stupid, but it is not stupidity. Maybe there's enough stupidity that's holding them accountable that they get away with it. But they themselves are not doing anything fucking stupid. This is a very fucking smart game that they're playing right now because there's so much fucking like... There's so much fucking like straight up phenomenology going on in this disclosure, right? This is X-Files fucking conversations at this point, you know? We're damn near close to fucking acknowledging fucking, you know, living sentient, like, fucking craft on top of there being living sentient fucking occupants in all sorts of different crafts. All of this, though, is a fucking conversation, though. A conversation with the weight and authority of the allegations of documents and evidences and, you know, the promised capability to produce something or being able to tell people in their private meetings who and what is what. Yada, yada, yada. Right? We'll see what happens, but just remember that right now all of this is a fucking game on the first veil. Right? This is all dark sorcery happening in the media. Do not let it go to your heads. And if the Cliff High thing happens today, be very careful about what you're looking at. Make sure you've educated yourself on things like what I talked about with Headless Giant the other day on Sunday here on the channel. Please check that out. Because nobody's coming to save us, and there is not an off-world intelligence that is going to off-world occupy us. Like, come from off-world, and like there's not going to be ships that show up to save or ships that show up to destroy that come from anybody outside of our own. And I don't know exactly how big the Black Fleet is, but it could be over our heads right now, which you will understand if you watch the interview that I gave with Headless Giant on Sunday. Alright guys, I'll catch you later, and if somebody wants to sub one fucking soul, I'll be at 400 subs. Back in the 400 club. Alright, catch you later.